All right, 239 live. It's Funtime Friday. It's February 28th. We're going to have a great show today. We've got so much to go over. I'm also really excited because of this new t-shirt. I loved it. Put it together. If you guys want one of those, please put in a comment. Grab one of those shirts. We'll get one out to you for just, whatever it costs. But no, we have such a good time on Friday. Big weekend coming up. I know there's a lot going on in Southwest Florida. We've got just a loaded studio, loaded guests. We've got Lois Bolin coming up here really quick, about 8:05. We got Cary Scott from the Alamo. We got Rob Soni's going to come in and talk. Sonny's going to come in and talk a little bit about some sports, things around Southwest Florida. But I'll tell you what, we're having a good time, and there's so much going on. And I keep telling you that the studio's getting closer to getting done. We're here kind of doing this temporarily, so you'll see a couple little bugs and a couple things that are happening. But I'll tell you, make sure if you want to watch live, it's real easy now. It's go to www. I don't even know if you have to put the www on anymore, but you go to 239live.com, 239live.com, and you can see it on the front page of that website. Also, we have a 24/7 continuous feed. We're going to be adding content to that as we go. But without further ado, I got to bring in the guest of the day. Patrick, are you still in San Quentin? Where are you at? They got you locked up, buddy.
I'm waiting for you to bail me out, Tim. I'm still locked up, hoping to get out by the weekend. How nice of Lois to roll in 1 minute before showtime. It's very kind of you. I'm sure you wouldn't make Commissioner Kowal or Patrick Dearborn wait, but that's okay.
Yeah, Lois, Lois is, she rolls in and she really, she came in hot today. Like I'm the window is here. She rolled up to the front and I was like, oh, please stop, Lois, please stop. But she comes out with her stuff. So Lois comes into the studio. We always love to have her. And it's a blessing to have her in our lives. So
Always.
Yeah, she's going to get us. So Patrick, give us a little rundown. I'm wearing my Studio 239 shirt, which we're putting those together. What are you wearing? Tell us about that.
I was going to wear the Studio 239 as well. I'll definitely wear it next week, but I'm sporting a little shirt here. It's a little private club called Mar-a-Lago. You might have heard of it down in West Palm Beach.
Oh, you're one of those. You got a T-shirt or you got a polo? Excuse me.
I got a nice polo, nice little present from Blake Becker and Patrick Dearborn, so I had to show it off today.
Yeah, so it looks good on you though. I like it. It's not wrinkled up. It looks really good.
That is the nicest thing I think you've said to me since the campaign. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, since the campaign, I really talked to you, and I know it's been a rough sled for you. We always take the opportunity to kind of pick on you, so it's good.
Yeah, I heard you're going to be on a podcast today, Built by Becker, and I can't wait to see what you guys talk about. I'm sure there'll be a couple digs at me, but going to be on Built by Becker today, huh?
Built by Becker is a big podcast. His numbers are big. Can you give us a little rundown of how Built by Becker is doing on YouTube and throughout the country?
Yeah, it might be the second hottest podcast in all of Southwest Florida. No, his YouTube page is absolutely on fire. Not only his podcast, but his shorts and reels and short form videos he does. I think he's over 3,000 subscribers, and a couple of his videos have gotten over 100,000 views. So his YouTube channel, Built by Becker, is absolutely thriving, all from Studio 239. So definitely check out Built by Becker YouTube page.
We have such a fun time in here. So I would like to put this out to the community. If you're interested in doing a podcast, please give us a call. Contact Patrick, contact myself. And the good thing is it doesn't have to be a podcast. If you have some information about your business, we have what we call one-offs. You come in, you talk about your business. We get 5 or 6 reels put together for you. Those have proven to be very good. So definitely give Pat a call. If you want to come on the live, if you've got something you want to bring on to the community, make sure to get a hold of us. We'd love to have you. And again, it's a community thing. We do have a little bit of a small fee for our services, but definitely the value is there. And I think we can all agree social media and podcasting is definitely the way to go right now.
Yeah, we're doing that for Francesca Skirbo, Balanced Nutrition Lifestyle. She came in the studio just to shoot content and, made some reels for her. And she said she's gotten great feedback on it. So, the studio is definitely available. You don't necessarily have to do a podcast. You can come in, shoot some content, and we'll help clip it up for you, get it out there for you. And like Blake said, Studio 239, it's just not a podcast studio, it's a movement. And really feels that way. We all help each other, and a lot of great, exciting things coming out of here.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun with it. And another thing is, if you have a big event that you want to get streamed, we can do live streaming from that event. So it's all about community.
We got a couple of big events that we're lining up, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, no, it's great. While we do that, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Becker Custom Builders. A big shout out to them, our sponsors. These guys are all about luxury design, top-notch quality, and giving the best experience ever. Becker Custom Builders are experts in making your dream kitchen, your bathroom, outdoor kitchen. They're all about turning a plain house into a cozy house and making sure that you're very happy. Becker Custom Builders, I can attest to the fact that these guys get things done and they do it right because they've been amazing at the studio. And whether it's commercial, whether it's residential, Blake and his team will definitely make sure that you're going to be satisfied with the final results. I've seen some of the pictures. We're going to put some pictures up, the before and afters, but it's amazing what those guys can do.
Amazing work. You know what Blake and Becker Custom Builders have really done? They've made home remodels great again.
Yeah, I like that. And they made bathrooms great again. And
yes,
pools. Definitely. And outdoor kitchens and all that
kitchens,
stuff.
Yeah, you name it.
Yeah, so, but no, it's one of those things where I personally like to do projects around the house, but without a doubt, make sure you get professionals to do it, because I'll start a project and it'll be, 2 months out before it gets done. So, but they'll go in and clean it out.
How about me letting you know earlier this week who coined the phrase "Make America Great Again"? You were a little surprised where that came from, weren't you?
Yeah, Donald Trump maybe. Who was it? Who was it?
Nope. Ronald Reagan, 1980 campaign.
And look where it's at now.
I know. I think that phrase is taken off. What do you think?
I think it has, and I like the spin-offs of it. So we got a few of those coming. So we can't divulge all those.
No, we got some really funny spin-offs. A couple may or may not get us in trouble, but
yeah.
And Jeff Delaney would Make America Healthy Again.
Oh, Jeff, man, that guy's squared away too. So yeah, if he had it on there. So yeah, we got a big show today. We're gonna actually have Lois. She's gonna jump on here just a little bit, just a second, and then we have Cary Scott. If you don't know Cary Scott, he is the man over at the Alamo. He's the GM for all Alamo Gun Ranges, and I had a membership there. The membership was unbelievable, and so it was a great opportunity. But yeah, if you can, Pat, if you could queue up Lois, that would be great. Yeah,
I absolutely will. I'm going to get her in here, but yeah, special day at the Alamo. We'll talk about it more later, but 10-year anniversary at the Alamo. So can't wait to talk to Cary about that. And without further introduction, I'm going to bring Lois in here.
Yeah, no, that's good. But if you do not know a little bit about what Lois does for our community, she's involved with everything. She knows what's going on. She's the pulse, the heartbeat of Collier County. She's involved in the Veterans Affairs. She does so much for what's going on in Collier County. So she's an amazing lady, and I know she gets a little bit embarrassed when I say it, but she is always keeping me up to speed on what's going on and keeps my calendar good. Lois, I know you're here and you made it in. Did you make it all right, Lois?
I made it in barely. I was trying to do my makeup for this light, and then I thought I was going to have a headphone on, so I didn't worry about my
I was so pumped up. I used I used Pat Jira's name tag for you, but there you go. Look at how good you look. You look so good. But your background, you got Pat's background on there, so it kind of looks like you're in prison. But that red
looks
shirt
like
sticks
Wayne's
out.
POW cell.
Yeah, I know. That's we get that from. There's a lot going on in Collier County, and you are again the pulse of it, and you bring it up. Let's go ahead. I'm going to bring up some of these things that you are involved in, and you're wearing your red shirt today. And tell us a little bit about this.
Wear red every day. I know Ike says listening her boys are military, but you wear red every Friday in honor of our current military to keep people reminding that we have people overseas protecting us. This particular two pictures that I wanted to show you, Meredith called me the other day. Meredith Carr, I hope she's listening.
Hey, Meredith. We have a shout out to Meredith.
On there,
We need
girl.
your comments.
She called about needing help to find her neighbor passed away, DD214, DD213. What is it?
DD form 214.
Anyway, I said, well, I'm not really sure. I said, but I know that every Thursday at the VFW from 12 to 2, Eddie Hardnick comes there, and he can help you with finding information out about a DD214. And also, if wife gets benefits, and if you really don't know if you have what you have, or you're having a hard time getting your benefits, every Thursday from 10 to 12, then at Friday from 10 to 12 at the American Legion. So that's, it made me feel really good when she came in to meet Eddie, that, I can't look up here, that she had found a little bit of information, so she was going to able to have her stepfather's funeral on Saturday, and hopefully have a military presence there. So that was the issue, and then so I had to dig in and do some research for people that don't have time to come on Thursday or Friday. There's an archive. It's National Archives, and it's Veteran Services Record. I'm not sure if I sent you a picture for that. But archives.gov,
okay,
Veteran Service Records, and you can plug in information about your husband or spouse's military, and they can help you get a DD214. So I wanted to thank Meredith for that, because I learned a lot in the last 48 hours. And hence, that's why I'm wearing my red Friday, which is what I have on here, and this is from the VFW. And they have wonderful, speaking of the VFW, every Monday through Friday from 10 to 12, they have coffee chat. Coffee with the veterans and croissants, and, well, not really croissants.
That's at the VFW, right?
That's at the VFW.
Right.
And then, of course, we have good lunches at the American Legion. Chickabee Clark should take you there. I'm putting her on the spot to have to do that.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was really great, and I wanted to say congratulations to Pat, because he's got a lot of courage wearing that pink shirt, but he looks good in it.
He looks good, and he pulls it off pretty good.
He pulls it off great.
He does, yeah, no, absolutely.
They do things differently.
Yeah. So Lois, real quick, why is a DD Form 214 so important? I was a military member as well, but why is that so important to have?
Well, if you need benefits, you have to be able to show that you served in the military, because anybody could just show up and say, oh, yes, I served. Well, show us your DD214, and then if you don't have it, you can't get it. And so, but here's the thing. If you have a mother or father who's in the military, don't wait until they pass away, because it puts stress on everybody, and if you really want them to have that military burial, then go ahead and get it. Do some research. Try to get their stuff together, because not only will the benefits pass over to the spouse, well, that's really the most important thing. And you remember Janet Gunther, right?
Oh, Janet. I love Janet.
Oh,
big shout out to Janet, yes.
Her husband served in the military on a submarine, atomic submarine, and he actually got radiation poison. And towards the last 3 or 4 years of his life, the VA wouldn't give him his benefits. And so, unfortunately, we had to hire an attorney. I helped them find an attorney. And lo and behold, they finally did get his benefits, but she had to have all of that information together, the DD214, et cetera, and so forth. So it's just important to have all those records for your spouse if you're, or your children or your husband or wife has been in the military.
Yeah, it's very important to do that because, I mean, it's not necessarily just something you want to, use for the current time, but like you said, when you have all that stuff ready, and your spouse and you pass on and you have
Yeah.
those military documents in hand, it's really important.
And veterans get free burial rights. So, and
Right, right.
yeah, so that.
Yeah, how does that work, Lois? The free burial rights? Is
You
it
have to call legacy options on that. They, as soon as they know that they're a veteran, then it's like everything's taken care of. And
Okay.
usually, I thought that the funeral homes would help. She had some information, but she didn't have all. I thought they had a way to like plug in to figure out if they had the DD-214, but they didn't. So we had to go an extra route and figure all that out. So.
Yeah, and a lot of times,
But
like
yeah.
I know when I got my driver's license, I presented my DD form 214, then I got the veterans little thing on there. But I will tell you, some of you might not know this, but Lowe's, if you go to Lowe's, you get a discount right there for your
So
military.
you have to fill out. The
You
same
just
thing
fill
with
out the
Home Depot.
paperwork, but you go there and
Yep.
you scan it, and it's amazing benefit. And like I said, you can save some
10%
money.
off. I
Yeah.
use that for a lot of
Is
dirt.
it 10 or 15? 10?
I don't know what it was.
Yeah, it's
but
a
you get
it's a
some-
discount. Yeah, and
You know what?
I enjoy little quick question: Lowe's or Home Depot? Which one do you like? Depends on what
I
you
like Lowe's a little better. I don't, but I tend up going more to Home Depot because that's closer.
close
But
to
I do
you.
like Lowe's and their merchandising better.
Yeah, yeah. We got a little bit more here, so I know we were involved in another good story.
Yeah,
Jack Cooper. Tell us a little bit about this.
that was total serendipity. I get every 2 times a month, I get the veterans to come lead the pledge at the county commissioners meeting. And Chickabee was supposed to do the pledge. She couldn't do it. And so I ran into Jack Cooper at the VFW for their coffee. I said, hey, could you come in this Tuesday and lead the pledge? And then I said, okay, give me your background just quick. I just need like 2 or 3 sound bites. And he said, okay, I was a dust-off pilot. I'm like, what is that? Well, he flew a Huey in Vietnam, and dust-off pilots, they rescue the wounded. And I can tell you there was no more happier sound when they would go, wherever how the blades sound when they
Those
come
Hueys
down.
make a distinct sound.
Oh yeah, you can definitely hear that. And I thought, well, how cool is that? And of course, commissioners loved that little piece of that story, and I loved it because just recently, the dust-off pilots were awarded the gold medal for their service for what they did for America. But here's an interesting little tidbit. Wayne was a POW in Vietnam. He's good friends with Jessica Stearns, who was a forward pilot. That means she went out to look for things, and she would drop little smoke bomb things. Like I said, I don't really know exactly. But anyway, she would mark where the pilots would go to drop their bombs. And Wayne was a fighter pilot. And then you have the dust-off pilots. So I want to do a little thing, get these 3 together to talk about Vietnam, because Vietnam recognition is this end of March is coming up. And isn't that kind of cool? Jessica, Wayne, and Jack Cooper with what he did. And how those people all ended up at the VFW and, all tandem together in the military. Except Jack was Army, but that's okay. We'll forgive him.
Yeah, it's amazing here in Collier County how many. Well, we have a large veteran population, but when you
Yeah.
start sitting down and talking to these wonderful people, I just had
You
a
don't
chance.
know.
Yeah, I just had a chance. I met him through you, but at Teresina Grand. But I met George yesterday, and I spent about an hour and a half, and then we've been meeting like every couple months because he has written a poem about the Gold Star, Blue Star, and he's wanting to make that into a song. So
Nice.
George is. So I've hooked him up with somebody, really good friend of mine, Barb Finnegan, and hooked him up, and she's a songwriter for Nashville, so he's super excited about that. But when you sit down and listen, and he's 90 years old, so this is something he really wants
God
to see
bless him,
happen.
yeah.
So God bless him. And then, but when you sit down and talk to some of these men and women that are here in Collier County and everywhere, to be quite honest with you, it's just amazing the stories you hear.
Yeah, yeah, and you never know what's going to come up, and you're totally surprised. Like you look at Jack, and you're just thinking, man, he flew a Huey down. And plus, Jessica and Jack, neither one had guns on their planes and helicopters.
Yeah.
They had to carry a Red Cross so they could show they weren't. I would imagine they maybe had something somewhere. I don't know that. I just said that. I have no clue.
Yeah.
But that's courage. That's really the courage of a different.
Now did Jack just happen to be at the county commission meeting, or was he there?
No. I asked him.
You
I
asked
asked
him,
him
you
on
got
a
it,
Friday if he could do it.
Yeah.
And then he said yes, and he came in on that Tuesday. And I always meet people there, so I can make them get a picture or something. I can put it up on Facebook to give them a little street cred. Not that they need it after you read what they did, but
Right.
I try to always be there to make sure
Yeah.
that they get a picture.
Yeah, no, that's important. And then another big event, the Jewish Historical Society of Southwest Florida. Look at you all dressed up all fancy.
Well, look at that nice, pretty red hat. I love red.
And that's Jeffrey on the right? Yeah.
This up last time, because a big part of local history, which is what I like to talk about, veterans and history, is the history of the Jewish people in Collier County. And Marina and her husband, Alex, in the far right, next to Mr. Wayne, well, he's also a composer, what do I want to call it? He writes songs for the Olympic skaters.
Okay.
And he composes, like Beethoven did, all the pieces for all the instruments. He's pretty amazing. But anyway, Marina is president of the Southwest Florida Jewish Historical Society of Southwest Florida, and that we did a little play on the history, and so I was sort of like the commentator and had a hopper and we had a tea, so it was a lot of fun bringing in doing something on that. But what's lovely about this woman, and it took me forever to say her name, Marina Berkovich. I like to go around and keep saying that to her because she used to yell at me if I didn't pronounce it right. She's Russian. But her life through her dress, she grew up in communist Soviet Union. I think I'm supposed to say that's the right language. And they had to almost sneak out of Russia. There was a grain to, remember that we had grain for people, that they would give grain to Russia and they would let certain people come out. And so they had a hard time, and they finally got out and moved to New York. And her story of, you can see how she dressed as when she was in Russia and versus her dress now. And so she's a beautiful writer, and her story of becoming an American and loving this country. And if you follow her on Facebook, you can hear the sadness when Biden became president and all of this. I'm sorry, I shouldn't probably say that. But anyway, she would.
No, you could say it.
Was okay, yeah, because she could see how the country was turning. And we look at USA now, you look, oh my gosh. And her heart was just, you could see it was broken. We grew up here, we expected, she came from the bad side and moved in here, and she could see the same thing happening. And her heart was broken, and she, obviously, like we all weren't very happy when President Trump was in, but her story tells you why she has the right to talk about that, because of what she went through and her family went through and what they lost and what they gained when coming to America. She's a great speaker for an organization, too, to come in.
Yeah, no, it's a great opportunity for everybody to get together and really bring that up. Now, are you a member? You just participate every year, or what's your?
Yeah, I joined, but I'm not an actor. I just joined to support her.
Right. Right.
I shouldn't say that because if you look at their website, they have done about 14 different stories of people in Collier County and explaining the history of the Jewish community. And a lot of, like, they see this wonderful, lovely sister to the far left over there, and she came to Naples early in the 60s, and, well, it was a little bit different then, and she couldn't find a place to rent. Well, of course, now she lives here, so that is a whole story in and of itself. I don't
I
even
see
know where
Linda Blackman on there. Who else we got? We got Wayne, Jeffrey.
Well, Wayne was just there. Then I was sort of like the head of Hopper, sort of
Yeah, you said
setting
Ed
up
Hopper.
the background, the history, and then they had several wonderful actors from Naples Players who were there, talking about their time in early Naples and what it was like, and we had like a wonderful little tea, which is why everybody's wearing hats. And of course, I love hats, so I had to go out and get the biggest one I could find.
You, one thing I could say about you, when you get involved and you get doing this stuff, you go all out. Like we were just at an event
yeah.
you invited me to a couple weeks ago, and the golf theme was.
Oh yeah.
You and Wayne always dress up. I remember.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
You don't mess around. The
why
stuff
not?
we do at the VFW, you're full speed ahead on that stuff too. Real quick, how does Lois Bolin keep her schedule? Dr. Lois Bolin. How do you keep your schedule?
Well, you saw how I came in here 2 minutes before closing.
Hey, and every time we love it. Before open,
That's
yeah.
how I keep it. I get it. I was like, oh my God.
We love it.
I hope he was able to see this because he called me 4 times coming over here. Now, how do I get on this page? Because it never goes to Facebook. I could kill it. But better men have tried and he survived, so I won't worry about that. So
Yeah.
I just, I use my iPhone calendar and I use my in-house calendar and then put it on Wayne's calendar so I can try to cross-reference all those things. But I used to teach time management. I think I'm going to have to sharpen up my skills to give myself a little more leeway time and travel. But it's the things that you need to do, you do. Like as soon as I leave here, I have an article to go write, and I have some plants that I need to plant. And we have new baby raccoons in our backyard. So I got to figure out how to keep them safe and away from any areas that could be harmful.
It's good. One good thing right now, and I'm going to make a slide for it at some point here, probably on Monday's show, but it's so easy to watch this, and we're making it easier. All you need to do now is go to 239live.com. 239live.com. I'm actually looking at it right now on my phone, and you can make it bigger. You can comment. You can do all kinds of things. But 239 Live, and then what's good about it is you can go back and see last episode. So 239live.com, and that's it.
Okay.
And so it's gonna be really easy. Matter of fact, it's playing right now. It's a couple seconds behind, but other than that, we're there. So. Please get the word out. You see that? What do you think about the shirts, Lois?
I like them. I like them a lot.
And I'm gonna get you one for sure. But yeah,
make it red.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You want the red? Well, we get some red ones. So yeah, because especially on Friday. So explain that a little bit on Friday. Why? I know you said wear the red shirt, but explain all that.
Yeah, but the red shirt again is for honoring our military. And it's always Red Friday, and you'll see that a lot, Red Friday, and that's what it's for.
Okay.
And of course, this one has it. Remember, everyone deployed. So that's why RED. Remember, everyone deployed.
Okay.
And you could put that on the back of your shirt somewhere on the little side, or create some cute little thing about it, and that way you do double duty with your veterans background and with your show.
Matter of fact, I'll get that working on that shirt now because we can print them up and we can get them out. Yeah, we can get them all set. But Lois, I can't thank you enough for coming on. I always appreciate you. Just such an instrumental person in my life, I know, but in the community, and you're always doing so much, and we really appreciate you. Thank you, Lois. Appreciate it.
Okay, and don't forget the Veterans Breakfast at.
Oh, I cut you off.
Park.
Just a second, real quick. Go ahead one more time. Veterans Breakfast?
The Veterans Breakfast with Gulf Coast Veterans and Friends every Saturday at Fleischman Park, basically 10 to 12.
We love it. Thank you, Lois. Hey, drive careful, too. We got to love Lois Bolin. She's unbelievable. And let me go back here to live, publish, back to live mode, making sure we got it. Oh, here we go. There we go. Wanted to bring it back up. Yeah. Thank you so much, Lois. Again, very, very nice to have you on, and we're always having fun. Now, a little bit about what's going on in Collier County this weekend. I don't know about you, but the place is busy. I've been driving up and down the road, and you have to add about 15 or 20 minutes depending on where you're going to your commute. But definitely something that we have to be aware of and pay attention to. Time-wise, we travel. But I noticed this year it seems like the restaurants are busy, but for the most part you can get in, and it's not too bad. So I know Pat gets out a lot. Pat's always running around all different times of days, all times of nights. Pat, what are you noticing anything major? Any major differences in Naples this year compared to years past as far as traffic and whatnot?
I mean, it's horrible, but we've been complaining about that since COVID and pre-COVID. So I don't think there's more restaurants now, so that's impacted a lot of places. There's just so many places to go. I know a lot of the chains aren't having as great of a season as they hope to, but it kind of bounces off. They do pretty okay in the summer. But you got Jimmy P's Burgers and More too, just opened yesterday. So that's an exciting addition to the community over off Vanderbilt Beach Road in the plaza there by Five Guys. So Juan was able to open up his second location. You might see us there for lunch today, possibly too, rumor is. So exciting addition to the community. We had a great dinner there. What was it? Wednesday night?
Yeah, Wednesday night we had a great dinner at the other location off of Mockley Road. Yeah, original location.
What'd you get there, Tim?
Well, that night was good. I had the I don't know if you ever had it. I think you told me about it. The grouper sandwich, the grouper Reuben. That's probably, I'll tell you what, that's probably the best food up there.
The grouper Reuben there is my favorite dish, actually, besides a burger or a steak, but excellent grouper Reuben. And real quick, Lois just reminded me we wanted to give a shout out to Mike Randall, Legends Concert Series, first Friday of every month. So that will be March 7th, next Friday. And he's got Jimmy Buffett and Beach Boys, not the real acts, the tributes, but they sound just like them. They're great. And free ticket for all veterans and first responders, Lois, am I correct?
Yes.
Free ticket for veterans and first responders, Legends Concert Series. Great venue out there, the Paradise Sports Complex. And there's Mike Randall in the house. What's up, Mike? You just missed Lois, so go. Please support Mike Randall, Legends Concert Series. Great cause. Again, free ticket to all veterans and first responders. And he's got Jimmy Buffett and the Beach Boys tributes playing on next Friday, March 7th. I believe it's 6 to 9 p.m. Mike could correct me if I'm wrong. But always a great time, great show, great venue, first class all the way. And big shout out to Mike and Rose as well. They took care of my mom for her birthday. Hooked her up at the Bee Gees tribute concert at the Hilton. She had an absolute blast. It's hard to get my mom out to go anywhere. And she went out and just raved about what a great show and great time. So thank you, Mike and Rose. We appreciate you. We know the community appreciates you as well.
Yeah, hey Mike, we're a little bit rough. We're getting through some technical glitches, but we're getting it down. But we want to get the information out. Listen, I've been to these concerts. These concerts are amazing. They have a good time. It's not just about music. Mike does a very good job with his tributes to the veterans, tributes to law enforcement. Really spends a quality amount of time bringing them on stage, letting them know,
works hard.
The value. And I tell you what, they are both Rosemary and Mike. They do a lot for the community. So it's very important that we get out there and support them. I've been trying to get to one, Mike. I apologize. Definitely apologize for that. But
gotta watch out for these fake friends, Mike. You know how they are.
Pat Jira. You give him a ticket and an opportunity to get into something at a low cost, he's gonna be there.
Let me tell you something. You give me a free shirt or a free ticket, I'll come wherever. I'm all for a free shirt. I am waiting, though, Mike. I got a great idea for next season, 50-cent tribute. I think this would change the game, change the demographics, everything. So let's work on a 50-cent tribute. next.
What do you mean change the graphics? I like 50 Cent. What do you mean the demographics? Give it somebody else different to attend?
Age, yeah.
Age, okay.
Market
Just want to make sure
crowd.
you got that down. I got that down.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Younger generation. Even
mean,
though 50 Cent generation.
I'm not like I'm obviously not hip hop like you and Joe Pavich and all that stuff, but
Let me tell you something. Joe Pavich knows his hip hop. Joe Pavich will call me randomly at 9 o'clock at night and want to debate hip hop with me, and we'll be on the phone for 45 minutes talking hip hop. I absolutely love it. When I had
thank you, Lois.
Radel on our podcast, ended up being
Lois.
half the show was
Take whatever
us
size of them.
hip hop, because Trey is a hip hop head like myself. So I'm a sucker for any kind of hip hop talk. Top 5 rappers, this or that. Always welcome to talk hip hop with anyone that wants to talk hip hop with me. As Tim will tell you, I love my hip hop, not rap.
I know, and I'm here. I'm in here. I got Lois. Lois is bringing shirts over here in the studio. But you do know your
Not
rap.
new rap.
You do know your rap. You don't like the new rap. What's up with that?
Just not my thing. I don't want to be one of those people, because remember how our parents always say, "Oh, our music was better in our day." I just don't like it. I don't like the messaging. It's all kind of mumble and just not my thing. You know, I'm not saying guys aren't necessarily talented, but it's all about you know. I know people used to get on the rappers in the 90s, early 2000s, that they rapped about drugs, but they rapped about their environment, getting out of their environment. Now it's a lot of the rappers are rapping how they're high on drugs, and just feel like it's lost its art form. So, you know, I like the old school Nas, Biggie, Pac.
All the good music. But it's gonna be like that. No matter what happens, every generation is gonna have parents that are gonna be like, "Hey, listen, you know that is crap. That's music, and that's just fact."
Who's your
of life.
favorite rapper of all time, Tim G?
I like Eminem. Believe it or not, I do like Eminem. He can get it going, and then you know I'm
Because he's white.
well, he is a white guy, but I don't even care about that. Obviously, I'm just trying to think. I do listen to
Eminem's talented, but he's just, you know, I say that extremely talented, but I feel like if he wasn't a white rapper, he maybe wouldn't be in that upper echelon. But definitely,
but man, I don't care what you say. That guy is fast. Like he can freaking let the
talented, no doubt.
Yeah. Well,
He's in my top 20. He's in my top 20.
I'm gonna go with I'm going with David Cravens and more so Joanna. But yeah, definitely my top rappers.
What they doing down there?
Yeah,
What they doing down
there? Yeah, those guys.
My daughter's been hooked on that.
It's so catchy, man. I got to get that music on so we can bump it for the show. But
maybe they could do a theme song for live.
yeah, that's what we need. That's what we need. A good theme song for that. That'll be good. Pump it up, get us going, fired up.
Because of that video, we'll still get their theme song on.
What's that?
Even though you lost the election because of the hip hop video that you did.
I lost. Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say it right now. Anybody who gives me crap about doing the video, we had the best time. Listen, my campaign was about getting along and having fun with people, getting the word out. So, you know what? We had such a good time with doing all that stuff. And Dave Cravens, that guy's friggin' badass. And Joanna's even badder.
And you know what the funny thing is about that? After that, a couple other politicians shot hip-hop videos after you did. So it's funny how that worked. And paid a lot more money than you did to shoot those videos. So
we had more people. I mean, listen, I've got the hip hop video, I guess the rap video or whatever you want to call it that I did for my campaign. I had people that were 4 years old all the way to 84. So you know what? It kissed my ass.
Go look at that. Go back and look at that video. The diversity and the energy, and it was such a great time. And your campaign in general, the people. I mean, I've been a part of some really cool campaigns, and I would put yours at the top of the list just in terms of the amazing people from different walks of life. Just a great group of people So much so we still all communicate in a group text, most of us. That's how strong that bond's been. So just an amazing time and an unbelievable group of people that you were able to bring back together. And hopefully you'll be able to bring back together on your next run.
Patrick, hey, should I start yelling out 28? 28? What are we going to do in 28?
Never say never, right?
I never say never. You never know. And you've heard it here first. You never know, right? I'll tell you what, though, that was a great time. And the people, we still have a group, the A team. Listen, the best of the best. And we had such a wide range of people. You were there instrumental in making it happen. I got Victoria, Lois Bolin, Diane Harris, Aixa Capizzi, Rob Capizzi, Jane, and
Kathy,
and Glenn Brown,
Kathy
Fresney.
Trisha.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even begin.
Tony
Chamberlain down on Marco Island. Big shout out to her. Yeah, Shavante, everybody. It was just amazing group of people, and yeah, I love everybody in that campaign. Murph had breakfast with Murph yesterday, so yeah, and Joe Greco, and just the names and the list go on and on. Yeah. I hate it when I start naming people because you know you're gonna forget somebody.
You're gonna miss someone,
yeah. Sab comes on and throws something up there. I'm not sure. John Franklin Myers. We got to go over that real quick. Before we do that, let's just go ahead and talk about the rules of this game. Oh, don't give up yet. We just a second here. I want to go over.
It's one of those things you either know or you don't. You know.
What's that?
It's one of those things you either know or you don't, and I don't.
Okay, let's go over this real quick. We didn't do it. We got off to a shotgun start, but here's the thing. Pat Jira, my co-host down there, see him down there, my co-host. Pat Jira knows a lot of shit about that means nothing, right? So this is a good opportunity to, and we kid around, right? But he knows the NFL players and what colleges they played in. Again, not sure if anybody really cares about it, but you know, we love him. We want to give him a chance. If you can name a NFL player that has played from like 95 and up, you know, somewhere relatively in the last, you know, couple decades, he's going to tell you what college they went to. And the good thing about that is, and he's already given up, which I guess he said, you know, you either know or you don't. But the good thing about this is, if you win, if you can stump him, you get something, not just a little T-shirt or something. You actually get something really good. You get one free shooting session from the Alamo Gun Range. And listen, if you've ever been, matter of fact, Cary Scott's calling in, but we're going to get him on just a second. We've got him coming up at 9, so yeah, it's going pretty quick. But not only do you get a, you know, we'll probably throw in a T-shirt as well. But not only do you get that, you get to go to the Alamo Range and you get to shoot for a free session. So let's see. Let's go back to Sab and see if he got it. He's going to give you another one. What's your answer on this one, Patrick? He's throwing out John Franklin Myers.
It's one of those you either don't, you know, or you don't. And I don't. I couldn't even take a guess on that, to be honest with you. I texted Sab to throw me another one, though. He said he was going to throw another one on there.
Yeah, he's got another one. I know this player, but I don't know where they played. How about Keenan McCardle?
Keenan McCardle went to UNLV. It's like an 8th round pick.
Sab, we need a quick answer back if that's right or wrong. So we want to be able to, you know, blow the air horns or make the applause. So where do you go? Where do you play, Patrick? Do you know?
Yeah, UNLV.
Yeah, there's a
fairly confident. I'm not sure though. Totally now.
Well,
Let's see if Sab.
We'll find out. Sab's going to say yes or no here in a little bit.
Very late.
Guess what? Sab says it. You nailed it. So what's that mean when you nail it? Oh, I gotta crank it up just a little bit more so we can get it. What is it? All right. Good job, Sab.
Sab's coming on Monday. Sab Sports Corner on Monday. He's going to be a guest host, co-host, whatever you want to call it. 9:30 Monday.
Yeah. And it's always good to try to get this guy. And if you can, let's do it. How about let's say go with a semi easy one. I think did we already talk about? Okay, easy one. I think Mac Jones,
Alabama.
And we talked about Trent Dilfer.
Fresno State.
Oh, wow. Okay, we got one more. We got time for one more, and then if from Sab. Oh, so John Franklin Myers went to
Stephen F. Austin.
Stephen F. Austin.
Do you even know where Stephen F. Austin's located, Tim?
No, I don't.
Texas, somewhere in Texas.
I have no clue.
But yeah, 1AA school. Yeah, that's a good one, Sab.
Yeah.
Tell you what, Sab. Get lunch at Mission Barbecue on me, buddy.
Yeah. That and go to the range. Got to go to the Alamo Range.
Sab hasn't held a gun since Nintendo was out, so he's not a shooter.
Hey, let's swing on over to. We got another a cool little story going on. I went ahead and I pulled up some. Get Sab some stuff off here. I pulled up some photos from Florida. Check this one out. Cary's in the green room. Cary, if you can hear me, we'll be right with you in about 5 or 6 minutes. All right? Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. How about these photos? Have you seen anything crazy in the state of Florida when you've been driving around that you'd like to take a picture of?
No, never. Not in Florida. I've seen everything from a refrigerator on the road to a bowling ball driving down West Palm Beach to a pig or a boar running on the highway. So I've seen it all.
Hold it real quick. We got to go back to Sab. And we got Cary coming on. He can answer this question in a little bit. Do they have duck hunt at the Alamo? He wants to know if he's got duck hunt at the Alamo.
I guess they can. You supply the duck, they'll supply the bullets and the gun.
Can probably get it. Remember, if you want to watch us, all you have to do is go to 239live.com. 239live.com. It's on the front page. It's right there. It's playing. So
and
tell all your friends. Get it out here.
I want to hear from people what some of the trash.
Yeah, we want more people on. Give us some names.
And I'll tell you, Sab can relate. The most annoying thing on the road in Florida is the bicyclists taking over the lanes. It's like the Tour de France driving on Radio Road on Saturday morning.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm going to do something. I'm going to bring on Cary. Give me a thumbs up, Cary, if you're good to go on. Good. I'm going to bring Cary on, and because Cary
is a busy man. He's got a big day today.
I got to put him in here at 3. But Cary's a busy man.
Big day.
Look at Cary. Cary Scott's always fun and interesting to keep an eye out for. But I'm going to bring you in here, Cary, because we've got some, and we'll explain a little bit more about Alamo here in just a little bit. But you're a country boy, right, Cary? You're a country boy. I can't see you too well. You're a country boy. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a lady holding up a cuckoo clock in the back of a truck. We're gonna have some wild photos that happen here in Florida. Have you seen any of that anything up in Sebring like that?
That's more of a Polk kind of Highlands.
That's a Polk County thing?
Yeah.
That's a good
I didn't know they make cuckoo clocks anymore.
I don't know. Here's another one. Let's throw another one. Cousins by blood, just so you can see it, Cary. I don't know if you can, but cousins by blood, lovers by choice. What county is this from?
That's Alabama.
That's Alabama all the way, right? Oh, that's funny. Real quick, I'm going to bring Cary on, and let's talk, bring him up to full screen, and just talk a little bit about what is so important here at the Alamo, all the different things I got. I'm going to bring up your other screen, Cary. Sorry about that, buddy.
And Cary, where are you located? Looks like you're in the MVP lounge.
Yeah, this is the Prez Lounge here.
Yeah.
Look at you, Cary. Looking
spot.
all fresh over there. He's shooting it up. Cary's bringing us live from the Alamo Gun Range. Cary, give us a little rundown about what's going on at the Alamo Range. We've known each other for a long time, and I can't thank you enough for all the support you've given me, not in my campaign, just in general. You're always out there helping people out. Cary was great. He goes, I think somebody complained, we want to have a thing that like Tim had at the gun range, and Cary's like, hey, anybody who asks, I'll try to help them out the best I can. So very honest, fair guy. We love you, what you're doing over there, and thank you. But what do you have going at the Alamo Range coming up? Big anniversary?
Yeah, so this weekend is our 10th anniversary. Obviously, new ownership, but we're still carrying the Alamo name. We love the Alamo brand. So this year we're celebrating 10 years, and huge sales we're going through. We've got pretty much everything in the store on sale. We've got memberships on sale, guns, ammo, gear, everything you need. We've got the girls from Vicente's coming over for cigars. We're going to be doing tours all day there. So you can check out the Pres Range and the Presidential Lounge. Yeah, we've got demos from like Dead Air, Shadow Systems. We've got Otis Technology, FN Firearm. Holosun's going to be here. Pretty much all the brand representatives are here to promote. So we got a really good turnout. A lot of good people here to interact with all the customers and let them have a good day and a good experience.
Cary, let me ask you, for somebody that has never shot, and one thing I'm very impressed about is the Alamo is they make you very comfortable when you go there. Listen, I've been in law enforcement for a long time. I do know how to shoot. But when you go there, you make people feel very comfortable, which is important. But what about somebody who's never shot? Give them the rundown of and kind of alleviate some of that anxiety maybe they might have about going to the gun range. Just explain how that process works.
Yep. So we have range officers on every range. The guys take real good pride. So for new shooters, first time shooters, every time they come, we have a one-on-one safety brief with them. We also have the RSO that's they'll kind of hover and help out as needed. We still try to step back a little bit and let them feel like we're hovering over their shoulder. But the guys are there to watch. They doing everything correct, and we just let them have a good time.
No, that's great. Getting a little bit of broken up, but we can understand it. So when you go there and you've never been, do you have to buy a membership, or can you do a one-time shooting session? Or because I know we're thank you so much for hooking us up with those one-time shooting sessions. Pat's been doing pretty good. No one's really beating him, so it's good. But what's it like an initial fee to go in and shoot? Obviously, ammo's getting a little bit expensive, but that's like
ammo's coming down.
Okay,
we're low prices. We're finally starting to see that drop. But a first-time shooter, our hourly rate is $25 an hour to come shoot. You can shoot a lot of ammo in an hour.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of time range. You're welcome to stay longer if you like, but it's $25 a person to come shoot if you're not a member. We're open Tuesday through Sunday. Wednesdays are the member days. When it gets slower, we kind of slack back on that a little bit, let other people shoot. But your average person, a couple of two coming in, you're going to expect to spend about 8 hours worth of shooting.
Yeah, so I know that I enjoy going over there, and people think that because I'm in law enforcement, although I've been in law enforcement all those years, that I'm a good shooter. I disagree.
Well, you keep saying that, Tim.
I disagree. No,
What makes you a good shooter? That's the second time you threw that out.
And I actually don't think I'm all that good. That's why. So evidently you didn't get my point there, Patrick. I think sometimes that people that are new to shooting do better because they listen to the instruction. They don't have any bad habits. But I know for a fact that I can beat Patrick.
Honest to God, new shooters and
you want to bet?
Because guys, I know we have a pride thing, but women come out shooting better in every class than a man will because they listen better than we do.
They listen, right?
All right, I'll do you one better, Tim. I'll raise the stakes. I'll put up a free dinner at the new Jimmy P's. I'll put money that D can outshoot you.
Probably D can. I'm not gonna. Hey, listen. I've shot so many rounds. but I am never going to come in until I tell you that I'm like a hot shot shooter. Some of these guys are really good. I mean, I'm sure Cary spent some time on the range, but probably working there, you probably don't get on it as much as you'd probably like to, right?
I haven't shot a gun in 9 months.
You'd think you would. It's like a guy that mows lawns and does landscaping. His lawn needs to be mowed.
Yeah, it's like
Yep.
when I worked at Outback. I worked at Outback for so long. People say you must love Outback. You stop eating it after you're there for so long. You know, you get burned out. But to talk to us about the Prez Lounge, Cary, and I know you got some big things coming up for the Prez Lounge in the near future.
We do. So we have so the whole upstairs is a private. People don't even know there is upstairs. So we've been pushing to change that for a lot of guests coming in. We're trying to make it a point to bring them upstairs and come see what we do here. But the whole upstairs is our presidential club. So we have 2 lounges. We have a viewing lounge, sit and watch people shoot. We've got the private 37 range upstairs, it's rifle range. We've got private lockers. We've got sitting in now. We've got golf later. We've got poker tables. Working on some outside stuff to bring in, lunchtime catering and everything for members as well. So that's coming up here. We've added our private cigar lounge. So we have the other side of the president area is our cigar lounge with our rooftop area. You can come hang out and relax. We've got the lockers that you can rent. And
Can I?
the biggest thing is the late night. So we're about to be open until 11 o'clock Tuesday through Saturday.
Wow.
For our members upstairs.
And you have a poker night too, if I heard correctly.
We're working on a poker night. Trying to find a good deal.
Okay. And speaking of lockers, what's Patrick Dearborn's locker combination at the Alamo? I'd like to get a sneak peek into Pat Dearborn's locker. Maybe you
He's
can share that
probably
with.
6 or something. That guy's got a red, blue heart. So
Pat Dearborn. That he's got a locker, I think, pretty much everywhere in town. I think
He pretty much does. Yeah, that's a true.
He supports everything in town. So
I think he's got the key
amazing.
to.
Yeah.
He's got the key to the city too.
That's very good. Couple other things, Cary. How many locations do you have? I know you're responsible for a lot. We had some discussions over that, but how many locations of Alamo throughout the country? What direction are you guys going? What does it look like here in Naples as far as season, things like that? I mean, obviously we always want to have more people come and enjoy the range, but tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So first, the expansion wise, we currently have 5 locations. We have Naples, Jensen, Poco. Those are our 3 gun store ranges. We also have Sebring and Vin. Those 2 are what we're calling our satellite stores. And with those satellite stores, we're planning on more here. So we're working on getting that stuff all together. Just takes time on the road to go find new places. But we're currently up to 5. We're working our way to expand up to 9 by the end of the year. And hopefully we'll be set there. We're staying in Florida for right now. We want to take all of our Florida residents first. It's great for the gun industry. And then we'll kind of look at it after that and see. And then we're very seasonal. I mean, Florida itself is a very seasonal state. So right now we're coming into the end. And, generally after Easter, it's so we turn into the summer month, start coming up with crazy ideas to get people in the door and have a good time.
Yeah, and like I said, every time I've ever been there, it's just an enjoyable experience because you think like, I'm gonna go shoot guns, I'm gonna be there, and someone's gonna be leaning over my back the whole time. Safety issues, yes, you guys will, but to go there, relax. It's to me, it's like going to the bowling alley, right? You can enjoy yourself, minus the beer and the alcohol. You try to, not obviously we're not bringing that on the range, but yeah. So you make it good.
Yeah, we want it to be a fun experience from start to finish. We don't want people to come in here thinking. Obviously, it's serious. We are dealing with firearms, so safety's number one factor. But we want people to come in and have a good time. We don't want them to think that you're going to get yelled at or something. The only thing you ever step in is a safety concern. And it's never against the person. It's just we want to keep everybody safe.
No, absolutely. We appreciate it. Well, Cary, just so you know, you have open door. Come on in. Anything you got going on, we'd love to have you. We've got a lot of people. We've got a lot of people watching because we're getting all the comments out in the community. We're actually on YouTube. We're on our homepage. Come on for a podcast. I need to have you in. We'll talk a little bit about what on my 239 Uncensored podcast. I'm sure Patrick will love to have you on his. That's getting out to a lot of people. We love it.
I think we're going to have one upstairs up here.
Yeah, that's the plan. That's what we're working on. Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be great. Get a live on-site. That'd be fantastic. So we want to definitely be a part of that. Yeah. All right. I appreciate it. Enjoy your Friday. I know you guys. I know you're busy. You got a lot going on, but we always love to have you on. And anything you need from us, we are always going to be there for you. Thanks, Cary. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Cary.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Pat. You'll have a great day.
All right.
You too, buddy. Thank you.
See you.
Awesome. Man, what a good guy. And you know what? I've been to the
Great
range,
guy.
like I said, beat it with a dead horse right now, but when you go there, you really enjoy it. You go.
It's more than a range. It's really an experience and just an absolute top-notch facility. The merchandise that they have there, the weapon selection. Then you go upstairs to the presidential lounge when they have it catered. The food is always excellent. You can play pool, watch football games. Some great political events there in the past. They even had Byron as a guest bartender, a celebrity bartender there one night. So, and then they had the concert there a couple of weeks ago. And what was cool, they made the shooting range. They turned it into a little hangout and bar area. So just really a top-notch facility. I know they have several locations now in the great state of Florida, but really Naples has the upper echelon of everything, so why not have a VIP special gun range like the Alamo in our backyard? It only makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, we have top-notch. Go to shoot, relax, enjoy yourself, and you're right. What's really neat though is when they have the event, they actually have used the range for to set people down, do presentations, have local events there. So it's a great experience and
Cool spot.
make shooting great again. That's another one, right? We love it. But I would say in Florida, like Cary said, in Florida, I think there's no shortage of people that enjoy going to shoot. I think probably like Texas is a big one. In Maine, when you want to go shoot, you just go out the back door and just start firing rounds.
Shoot at some lobsters in the lake.
Shoot at some lobsters. You never know. Hey, so let's go back to a couple little stories in the news. We've got Rob Soni coming up at 9:30, and let's just talk about a few things. I was able to find a picture of you. This might not be current day you, but very recently.
Where'd you find that?
Yeah,
shoot.
There you go. You're at Publix there, I think. It looks like.
Is it Publix or 7-Eleven? I don't know what's going on there, but
was that like a rough day? Because your hair looked a little bit longer there, Patrick.
Yeah, a little extra hair, but it was during the crack butt of dawn and picking out my chicken tenders at Publix. So that's
please put in the comments a crazy Florida picture, because we'll post it next time. If you got a crazy Florida picture, be great if it was in the 239, right? But if you got a great one, put it in here.
Is that a Publix? We'll do it. That's got to be 7-Eleven. I don't think Publix will let someone like that run around with no shirt.
Hey, he's getting the butt roast special.
Walmart. That could be Walmart.
Could be Walmart. Could be Walmart. But then again, I found another picture that was out there. Now, these are 33 trashy and wild photos of Florida. Now, I'm not going to show you 33, but this I thought was a pretty good one. I kind of like this one.
That one I can explain.
Can you explain this one, Patrick? Tell me what happened this night.
Well, sometimes these places there's only one per person in the bathroom, and there was a line. So if you gotta go, you gotta go. So
Yeah.
you know, talk
This
about
is-
watered down beer.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting. A little picture. I used to run up on these people all the time and be like, I'd be in my uniform, and then you actually could turn around and stop a piss in mainstream. So I've seen that happen before. Be like, hey man, put it away, put it away. Not a gun, put that away though. But yeah, there's some crazy things that go on.
Yeah, well,
We talked a little bit yesterday about what what some of the crazy things you've done, or not maybe you or you've seen done under the influence. I've seen some crazy ones.
yeah. I mean, nothing done. Said some stupid things and just some crazy times, but nothing like really crazy necessarily. Actually, I will say this. This going way back when. This is going back probably 15 years. A couple people got together and someone popped one too many happy pills and decided to do a handstand on the balcony on the third floor of the Cove Inn, and
Oh
you
shit!
know, yeah, landed on his freaking back. Look, I think he was so high he really didn't feel it as bad. I'm sure he felt it the next day, but I guess something like that sticks out.
Yeah. One of the craziest things I've seen was I had a ride along with me, and I'm driving out to Immokalee, and I get almost to yeah, I almost get to the Immokalee, and I'm about maybe 2 miles out of town, and I see this car. It's just kind of creeping along. I mean, it's going, I would say probably 3 miles an hour. So I'm like, that is kind of strange, right? Even the FBI would call that a clue. So I turned around and I get behind the car, and it's still going 3 miles an hour. And I start beeping, still going 3 miles an hour. I hit my lights, it still goes 3 miles an hour. And I was an unmarked vehicle, but finally I got the guy to pull over. And when I got him stopped, I looked, and every tire on his car was flattened. And he was driving, and upon contact with him, it was extremely obvious that he was under the influence. He was out of it. And we're now, mind you, we're on Immokalee Road, a couple miles out of Immokalee, and he's heading towards Naples. And I asked him, I go, sir, can I see your driver's license and registration? He tries to find it. Of course, he never found it. I go, where are you heading? He goes, I'm headed towards Lely. I'm going to go to Lely. I go, sir, you don't have all your tires are flat. He was hammered. So I got him out. We did a little check-in. I had the guys go out to Immokalee around the casino area because he said he just pulled out of the casino. And sure enough, he ran over the median, knocked over all the signs, turned around, kept going, and tried to get in town. So people do some crazy stuff
Tim,
when they're drinking, for sure.
you think? Can you do me a favor? Can you change the pic on that slide, please? I know you're into.
Yeah, you don't like that one? I
Can you
mean,
just
I know
change
you're.
the pic on-
I know you're upset with that one. I know you're upset with that one.
There we go.
You like that one better?
Sure.
You like it?
Was that the toilet at Studio 239?
Hey, real quick question. You got to really go to the bathroom, and I'm not talking about number one. Where do you choose in a public place? Where do you go? Can you go anywhere?
No, absolutely not a gas station. Even though
Well,
Wawa,
it depends, I guess, how bad you got to go, right?
Wawa's not too bad. I really try to avoid at all costs going number two in public. For the longest time, I couldn't go number two at any public restroom.
At all, even at home?
Well, that's a private restroom. That would be I'm talking about in a public place, Tim.
I mean, yeah. I mean, put it in the comments where you can go. Publix by all stretch. Publix always
Publix,
good. Always a good
here's-
call. Always a good
Here's
call.
here's the secret on Publix. You go in the Publix family room. That one's
Oh,
always-
okay, Pat. Okay,
That's
I
the
got you.
secret there.
Yeah, without a doubt, it's a Publix, and shoot around, try to find a Publix. But no, it's I'm kind of over that, man. When you get like 50, you don't care where you take a shit. It pretty much doesn't matter. You're just happy you made it to the bathroom.
So you would take a shit at the Circle K in Golden Gate?
Hey, if I gotta go, man, I gotta go. You know, it is what it it is what it is. Yeah, when you get to a certain age, you just go. And I will tell you, when you get older.
Well, your prostate is, as you get older, I guess, enlarged, and you can't hold. So it's tough being in your 70s.
Hey, we got Dave. Dave jumped in. He goes, "So sorry, the guy's been there in the family restroom. Poor kids."
Hey, Dave, talk about a shitty situation for that family, huh?
Yeah. Dave, where would you say your go-to place is if you're in a jam? And if you got a second, you can call in too. It's totally up to you. But
Dave lives in Lehigh. It freaking.
Yeah, Dave, where are you gonna go if you gotta go to the bathroom? I mean,
McDonald's is fine. Freaking.
McDonald's will probably work in a pinch.
Golden
but, yeah.
Corral.
Golden Corral.
You think they have some plumbing issues?
Hey, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to say about my guy Dave going to Golden Corral? I like Golden Corral.
Yeah, that's fine. Not too long. Each his own.
This looks kind of like our bathroom here at the studio, but we got a badass bathroom here. Our bathroom is super nice, but we got a couple little tweaks we got to do because the handle sticks.
They're gonna come take a look at it.
Yeah, they're gonna come take a look at it. We love our people next door. They're awesome to us, and hopefully they're gonna have someone come over and just take a peek at it. Because when you push the lever, if you don't push it back up, it just keeps running. We don't want to run water. So yeah, but what's the go-to place for you? Yeah, hit us up in the message and let us know. But yeah, so
let's keep it the gas station. Which gas station?
Gas station.
Restrooms. I would say Wawa.
Wawa.
Cleanest restrooms for a gas station.
A new racetrack.
A new race. Yeah.
Because you got to admit, like, the new racetracks are great, but after like about a year, things start going downhill.
Quickly.
Let me ask you this: you were the manager at Outback. You were a manager at the Miller's Ale House. Yep. How hard is it to get your staff to go in and do the bathrooms? I mean, that's obviously a shitty job.
They won't. No. We had a maintenance person come in, a cleaning crew at the end of the night, but during the day, no. You kidding me? Maybe pre-COVID you could, but let me tell you something. What happened? And shout out to Joe McDonald for jumping in, because usually the manager, if there was a issue in the bathroom, manager's got to take care of it. I absolutely dread. We had someone go in and
what's the worst thing you've seen?
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. I remember to this day, a guy went in there and freaking just shit and blood started coming out of him all over the place.
Patrick, you gotta tell all that.
Well, we're uncensored, right?
Yeah, we're uncensored, baby. Go for it.
Literally, and I remember the smell to this day. I've never smelled anything like it, but he ended up having some kind of ulcer exploded in him, and there was just shit and blood everywhere, all over the restroom. And I attempted to try, and I just couldn't. And Joe, who was the proprietor, so proprietors usually, you send one of your managers to, and he ended up taking care of it. And it was the most horrifying experience of my life. The smell, I can still remember the smell now to this day. It was absolutely brutal. An ambulance ended up having to come and get the guy out of there. But that definitely comes to mind. Luckily, not really many bad experience. Did have a situation where a staff member shot up in the bathroom and nodded out, and wasn't me, but no real bad experience. Luckily, we got pretty lucky in Outback. Always, my big thing was always though a clean restroom, because if you walk into a restaurant and the bathroom looks like shit, I guarantee you their kitchen looks like shit too. And so I always try to maintain standards in the bathroom, whether it's even just a couple paper towels on the floor.
Yeah.
So
well, Big Dave writes out there. He says the Wawa. He gets the Wawa.
Wawa.
I've never really been to the bathroom at the Wawa.
You've really never been to the bathroom at Wawa? Well, you're missing out, Tim. Let me tell
Missing
you.
out. Sounds like, well, I don't hang out there like you do. So,
Well,
know,
you
it's
can
kinda-
be like George Michael and was it trucker stops are the big thing? Remember George Michael got nailed for picking up I guess that was truck stop, rest stop was the big thing for.
It's it. Pat, I can
remember
hear you
that
tapping
story,
on your
George
desk.
Michael?
You
I
might you
can't
get
be the
you
only
get a little
person
nervous
that
there. You
remembers-
tapping on your desk. You started tapping on your desk. What's
I
up?
can't
with
be the only person that remembers that George Michael got nailed for giving a BJ to a someone at a rest stop in the 90s.
that? I guess we're uncensored. There you go. Hey,
Well, we are
allegedly,
now.
allegedly.
No, you got
Allegedly.
nailed. There was no allegedly.
Yeah. Hold it. I gotta. Before I go any further, I think I need to do this, right? So, allegedly did this. So, did he
What's
get
the
nailed?
weirdest thing-
Hold it. Here we go. Here we go
What's
now.
the weird,
What's that?
What's the weirdest thing you've seen in law enforcement from a restroom aspect? Have you ever been called on something where someone's doing something they shouldn't do in a restroom or did? I remember. Go ahead.
No, listen. I have been to, in a law enforcement capacity, I have been in a lot of extremely bad situations in bathrooms because people do the nod off all the time, needles on the ground. We banged on the doors. We got fire coming out. I mean,
And that's just at David's house. I'm talking about general.
that's it, David. Yeah, but yeah, no. So there's just so many times you get called and somebody's in the bathroom, and I would say definitely a lot of cocaine down the drain. I've seen that. We'd come in and all of a sudden you'd see people running to the bathroom, they trying to ditch your stuff. So yeah, but we spent a lot of time going Circle K's. That was a big one. Circle K.
Circle K.
7-Elevens, the old 7-Elevens, the new 7-Elevens are
The G store.
Yeah, the G's, yeah, that's always an interesting one. But yeah, so I would say definitely a lot of drugs for sure. We know I got this next story, which is kind of a big deal, and I don't really know the backside, literally the backside, the back end of the story. But this is in Naples Manor. And very rare these days, I might add. Collier County Sheriff's Office has done a great job in the manor, working with the community, making it a lot better. But a woman shot dead in East Naples. Do you know anything of inside scoop on this one, Patrick? I know this is over by your old high school, and a little bit about the manor.
No, I'm not too familiar with what went on, but it's a great point to what you said. I remember growing up, and even early mid 2000, the manor was rough. So much so, driving through at night. I remember I had a good friend that lived in the manor to go pick him up, and got just pulled over by the police because I was a white person in the manor. What are you doing here? Well, I'm picking up my friend, but it was a rough. No, actually, I wasn't doing anything wrong then, but. Yeah, it was known as a rough area, a rough part of town, the manor, and since done a really solid job cleaning up, especially different areas of the manor. So much so, I mean, I've seen, and you can give me a better number, but homes in the manor sell for $500,000 up to $500,000 if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, I've had a couple sales in the manor. My last sale was about, I think we ended up closing that one at $450,000.
That's unbelievable.
It was a smaller house, very nice house, but smaller house. Yeah.
So in the late 90s, how much would a house like that sell for?
Oh shoot, you could buy those houses over there for $99,000, $100,000, $87,000. People went in, they cleaned them up, and the thing about it in Naples Manor is you don't have HOAs, you don't have a lot of the same rules. Now you have county ordinance, code enforcement, things like that. They spend a lot of time in there trying to clean that up. But the proximity to Marco Island, matter of fact, the guy that bought the house that I sold, he was a chef on Marco Island, so it worked out pretty good.
Proximity to Laley High School, the greatest high school.
There you go, Laley So
So you got the land value increases with that. What was the worst street on the manor in your law enforcement? The Texas?
We spent a lot of time. Texas was down the other end, but we spent a lot of time like on Schultz Street, Hardy Street.
Hardy.
Floridian. Some of them were really, really quiet. The cool thing about Naples Manor is you can kind of cut through. A lot of people don't know you can cut through to Old Laley, by the baseball field there. So that was kind of
Is that legal?
No, yeah, it's a road, so you can get through that way. So yeah, it's good. But
you can't cut through a gas station and just.
Well, no, this is definitely not a business. It's a roadway, but a lot of people don't realize that you can go out that backside and get through to Old Laley, and it's right over by the Little League field. Yeah. So.
Right. You don't get hit by a baseball.
Yeah. It's funny one time, and again another little war story. We were sitting up there doing surveillance one night back when we were working gangs, and all of a sudden there used to be a go-kart place across the street on 41.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there doing surveillance. I'm with my brother Chris Freeman, and we're sitting there, and it's 2:00 in the morning, and next thing we know, we hear this, and it's pitch black, right? All of a sudden what the hell is that? All of a sudden, two guys are coming down the road on go-karts that they had just stolen from the go-kart track across the street. Of course,
that was a great place.
Yeah,
I spent my 13th birthday party at that go-kart place. Fun fact, Tim.
Really?
Yeah.
And so
great spot.
it was a good spot. They had that over there. So yeah, they bailed. Good story is they went around the corner and they bailed over by the Little League field. They jumped in the canal. That we had Air One, which is our helicopter, up. They did a couple turns around and they yelled down to the guys that jumped in the water, say, "Hey, listen, nothing for nothing, but you better get out of the water because there's like a 10-foot gator like within 15 feet from you right now." So yeah, you just never know. Oh, Dave Cravens. This is Dave just jumped in. He goes, "I hit the Wawa the other day on the way home from Jimmy P." Yeah, from Jimmy P's. I like how you write peas. Hey, yeah, you poor people at the Wawa after you left there. You probably blew it up. How about the guy that said he went into Home Depot and said, "I'm going to blow this place up"? Next thing you know, they called this bomb squad. That's what
they
happened.
probably got good plumbing at Home Depot, you would think, right?
David Cravens blew it up. But yeah, so some good stories.
Best gas station bathroom.
Best gas station bathroom?
Yeah, I gotta say Wawa. I think my man Dave. Shout out to Dave.
Yeah, Dave brought it. Dave brought it. Let me ask you this. This is
Charles Patty in the house too, by the way.
Oh, Charles Patty.
Arca.
Oh, I love it. Diana goes none. She goes none. Absolutely none. I don't like them.
Well, I can see from a female standpoint
watching
too.
From YouTube.
Got to be a little more. I'll tell you, Capitol Grill's got a nice facility.
How do you go into Capitol Grill though? Because you got if you're running into Capitol Grill, you got to get through the guy that's trying to park your car, the valet.
You got to run in to drop something off to someone. Just freaking go in, handle your business, and boom, right back to Blue Martini or wherever you got to go.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to talk, and we're going to have. We'll have Rob on here in just a second. Rob, if you can hear me, just hang tight for a minute. He's in the green room, but we're going to have Rob, and we're going to have give him an opportunity to tell us some of these stories or talk about some of these stories. But
yeah,
we know that fentanyl right now is one of the number one killers of teens and young adults in our country, coming in from all over the place, from south of the border, put it that way. And I don't know what your thought is on law enforcement prosecutors going after the drug dealers, not necessarily the one the one who sold it, but maybe the originating source. In this case, man was convicted in Collier County of supplying fentanyl in teen overdose case. What's your thought on that, Pat? And I know you probably are aware, what's going on with that too. But
well, here's the thing. So yeah, let's say the drug dealer didn't know that he was selling fentanyl, was selling some. But at this point in the game, there's a very good chance that whatever drug you are selling has fentanyl in it. I can talk about my personal experience in the past. I was using something, didn't know, didn't go with the intention of buying fentanyl, but I also knew I was taking a chance because you hear, there's fentanyl and stuff. And sure enough, it had fentanyl. I'm open with my stuff. When I went to detox, I tested positive for fentanyl, and they asked me, when's the last time you used fentanyl? I said, well, I don't use fentanyl. I'm like, well, it's in your system. So it's out there, and it's an absolute major crisis, an issue bigger than COVID, in my opinion. It's out everywhere. It's destroying, communities, killing people, and that's the thing these days. Like, I've heard, I can testify this is true, because when I first, people said, oh, you could be smoking weed or vaping, and it could have fentanyl in it, and I would always be like, but I know people personally that smoked weed or got a vape secondhand somewhere, and it had fentanyl in it, and they overdosed. Luckily, those particular instances, those people didn't die, but it's an absolute problem. Whether it's coming from China, Mexico combination. But I know Trump kind of talked about what an issue it is in America. And, one way is helping secure the border. That won't get rid of everything, but definitely help stop the flow of a lot of it. But major problem and killer of young people. And Rob will jump in. We know someone just recently, 33, 34 years old, passed away from fentanyl overdose. So, it's close to home.
Yeah, let's go ahead and bring Rob in. I'm going to put you and Rob together here, and you can kind of just introduce him.
And it puts the police lives in danger, too, because, on a traffic stop, they come in contact with it. So, without further ado, we're going to bring in Rob. Rob is a person that's near and dear to my heart. He helped basically save my life. He's also a sports aficionado and a great public speaker on addiction, sobriety. So, Rob, welcome to the show, kid.
Hey, boys. Thanks for having me.
Sorry, Rob, we kind of jumped you a little bit quicker than you expected. I know you needed to comb your hair and get all fancy and everything.
Yeah, definitely.
You have to dress up for us.
But you're looking good. I got a chance to meet you the other night, and I'm sure you're going to give, you and Pat are going to talk a little bit and give a little rundown of kind of, how much you mean to Pat, and Pat means to you, and so on and so forth. Welcome on, Rob.
You can talk about the fentanyl problem. I mean, you see it more than I, because Rob's not just saved my life. He's saved, helped a lot of people out. What do you think about the fentanyl in America, and really Florida, South Florida?
Yeah, I mean, it's the number one, I think, should be one of the number one issues in the country, outside of, economy. And, there's a lot of issues, obviously, in the country, but the number one killer is probably fentanyl. I mean, more people die of fentanyl overdoses than will in the military this year. More people die of drug overdoses than they will car accidents. So, it's the subtle foe that most people don't know about. And, unfortunately, kids are going to be kids. And we were all kids, too, right? We all experimented. But we experimented on a much safer playground than what's currently out there right now. And the thing is, everyone buys drugs from drug dealers. They're drug dealers. They're not scientists. So no one really knows what they're getting. And at this point in time, it's just assume it's there. Assume it's there. And, whether you've done drugs for 20 years or it's your first time, at this point in time, you're just always eligible for it to be your last time. And it's really unfortunate. And people, I don't think, take it that seriously until it happens to them. I think, it's just a broader thing is a lot of times people can't sympathize with situations until they've been in it. And then all of a sudden their 18-year-old kid tries drugs once and they die. And they're like, oh my God, I want to be an advocate. And this is a big issue. It's like, no, this has been an issue, And so I just try to bring light to it. And I just try to meet people where they are, If they make it to a rehab, I just try to tell them, hey, man, you're the luckiest guy in the world. Because there's a lot of families that are burying their loved ones that never made it here. And you have an opportunity to change your life. And, quite honestly, to go do drugs again is an opportunity to die like it's never been before. Everyone talks about cocaine in the 80s and the snowstorm that took over America. A lot of people lived through it, though. This fentanyl crisis, unfortunately, it's taking a lot of lives. So to me, it's like a passion thing for me. I just think it's one of the deadliest things in America. And I love America, and I don't want Americans to die, so I'm passionate about it.
How many people just in the last year would you say that died from fentanyl overdose?
I'd say at least a dozen. In my small, I touch a decent amount of people, but I mean, it's a high percentage, and unfortunately, there's no discriminating factors. It's not
No.
like, oh, well, they're Christian, so that's why, or they're Jewish, or they're 50, or they're 20. It's like one of the few things that sees everything neutral.
Patrick, real quick, because some people are just jumping on, but introduce a little bit because we brought Rob into the middle of a story. Kind of give us the audience a little bit of a rundown on Rob and kind of how you guys met and so on and so forth.
Met Rob at a place called Rehab, and hit it off. Rob was a one and done. He got it right and stayed sober. I was not, and later on I had some issues. And Rob, I talked about it the other night, but basically came and saved my life and got me to a place where I needed to be. And now I was able to celebrate 1 year sober recently. And Rob made the special trip to come have dinner with us the other night. But Rob is and he's a great speaker. He's an absolutely fire speaker. I'm not saying that because he's my friend. I'll be honest. And we saw it the other night, Rob. When we have AA speakers, you got like 5 minutes to get me in. Otherwise, I have a hard time, paying attention and staying focused. And Rob is probably one of half dozen speakers that I've heard where I'm all in 35, 45 minutes, Blake being another one. But so he's a tremendous speaker, but he's also a sports guru. He might think he knows more about football than me. He doesn't, but he's definitely more well-versed in sports. I mean, you name it, baseball, basketball, hockey. He's a big Boston sports fan, even though he's from New Jersey.
Yeah!
Let's go.
So I don't know
Let's
how
go
you
Sox.
explain that. But so anyone have any kind of sports question? And I'll throw a couple. Where did Lori Malloy go to college, Rob?
Oh, University of Illinois, I believe.
No, Washington.
No, Washington. Football is not my forte as much
Yeah,
as it
but
is yours.
You're good with the colleges too.
Yeah.
So you and Tim both Celtics fans, Patriots fans.
Look at that.
Anyone
CJ
that's-
comes in and says, "Go Sox!"
Sox,
It's
yeah.
CJ.
When's the last time the Red Sox won anything?
In 2018.
Oh, okay. Celtics gonna go back to back.
Back to back. That's right. We're at the parade this year. We're going to be at the parade in June.
Yeah, Rob was
print
at
the
the parade.
print the shirts.
Print the shirts.
Tim, start pressing the shirts. We can start selling.
We'll start selling. Chris Sale. How about Chris Sale? Give me a little rundown on him. Where did he go to college?
Oh God, Chris Sale. I don't know off the top of my head. Baseball's
Patrick.
hard with college.
Chris Sale. You know Chris Sale, Patrick.
I don't. You got me. I don't.
Cy Young Award winner.
I'm not a
Boston
baseball
Red
guy.
Sox. He went to FGCU.
I'm
He
not a
went to
baseball
FGCU.
guy.
I know he was a Florida guy.
I mean, jeez, give me a break. He's from I think he's from Lakeland
Yeah.
or Gainesville in that area maybe. Yeah. So
Not a baseball guy.
and he lives literally like
I know.
2 blocks that way from us
Great
right
guy.
now. Yeah.
Well, guess what? I don't know where people next door went to college either, so I don't care where he's It's not a baseball guy. I apologize to him.
We're supposed to. So now we're okay. We got it broken down. Like okay, we'll start doing that stuff. We'll break it down. I thought you were like all around sports guy, Patrick.
No, just football. I used to be a baseball.
Only when he
basketball.
knows the right answers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to bet? Want to bet? Rob, give us a little rundown on your world and kind of a little bit about you and
Yeah, give us. I know it's tough to, but kind of a little bit about your background, Rob, and where you came from, how you got to where you are.
Sure. So my background, born, North America. That's what I always tell people. Where are you from? North America. Where specifically? The United
That could
States.
be Canada now too, though. Be careful.
Yeah, exactly. No, so I'm just born and raised in New Jersey, and I'm really just passionate about our country. Obviously, I grew up outside New York City, and 9/11 happened when I was 11 years old. My father is 4 blocks away, and so 9/11 was like a huge portion, a pivotal moment in my life. And at 11 years old, I decided I was going to join the service, and I did. When I was 17, my parents had to sign the waiver. And I was in the military for 7 years, and it was like the greatest thing I've ever done. It was my dream job. It was everything I ever needed and wanted. And I never really wanted to leave. And if you the past 8 years, I always told people I got out of the military because, the politics and the corruption. And the reality is a lot of the reasons I got out is because I couldn't stop, drinking. That was the crux of the problem. And so I'm super passionate about the country. I'm super passionate about, helping people. And then I had this, 8-year roadblock where I couldn't stop drinking. It kind of ruined my life and, made everything a lot harder. I've always been able to achieve a certain amount of success, but it definitely put a cap on it. And then, like Patrick said, we met 2 years ago in rehab, and I didn't know that you could ever stop drinking, And I know Patrick said, like, I'm such a big sports fan. Like, to give you an idea, when I was 5 years old, I learned who Len Bias was, so I never did drugs, ever. Never touched any drugs. I was like, oh, it killed Len Bias, it'll kill me. But drinking was legal, so that was the problem. So, I came down here 2 years ago, and I realized I never had to drink again. And I just did everything they told me to do. And I'm super passionate about it because, at that point I was 32 years old, and the only thing I wanted to do was drink, and I only wanted to drink because I wanted to die. And now, my life's pretty incredible now. I get to do everything I could ever want. I get to, you get your spark back, like you go from a place where you never want to live to now I'm in a place where I never want to die, and I never want to see anyone else die either. And so my life's just kind of been crazy, And when you leave the service too, I hope this makes sense to people. Like, there's a hole. You go from serving your country and helping everybody, right? Like, you go overseas and you're helping people that can't help themselves, and you come back and it's like, what's my purpose? What am I doing? I go back to school and they're telling me I need to write a dissertation on Edgar Allan Poe and that it means a lot. And I'm just like, well, I was just overseas helping people that had nothing. And so now being part of this, recovery community, it kind of gives you that spark and drive again, where you're dealing with high stakes every day. It's life or death for people. When I picked Patrick up at that Wawa, it was life or death. And like, that's where like people like me, like veterans, we thrive under that because that's what we were trained for. That's what we lived for. And so it's just been a beautiful thing the last 2 years to be able to change the course of my life, but also find that passion of helping people with high stakes again. Like I always tell people, I'm really good at helping people where Patrick was, like at the Wawa with nothing. I'm really bad at helping people that are like a year sober and they have their life again. I'm like, the stakes aren't that high anymore. So that's kind of where I'm at now in my life. And that's kind of like where I was and, why I'm so happy and passionate about where I'm at.
Yeah, good stuff. What do you say to somebody who's like, doesn't really want to believe that they probably hit rock bottom and they're like, hey, I leave me alone? I mean, because I've had an opportunity to be able to be in that role as well. But what do you say to them? You're so concerned for them that you feel that if you leave them, they're gonna die. What do you say to them?
Well, there's a couple things. Like in the beginning, I try to be a little softer. I'm just like, let's make a Venn diagram, man. Let's figure it out. Let's see what you have and what you don't have. Let's see what you want and what you don't have. And let's kind of start it off a little softer. And then eventually, I think a lot of the training and a lot of the discipline that was in the military helps me. And at some point, I'm just like, you're coming with me, because there's two options here. You're on a lot of substances and you have a lot of substances. So either you come to me, we'll go to a detox, or we'll call the police and see where they sort it out. Because you're a danger to yourself and society at that point. So I always try to start it off a little softer and make it a little bit more attractive. And then depends on the situation they're in, what drugs they have, what they're on. Then I get a little bit more realistic and be like, hey, man, this is life or death. You're going to die. And, the fact of the matter is you have illegal substances on you that you're not allowed to have, So I try to make it attractive at first, but then not to throw him under the bus, dealing in Patrick's situation, it was a little bit more harsh. It was a little bit more straightforward.
Because you loved him. You loved him in a different way. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. And I try to love everybody, because I feel like we all are born in this country with almost the same shot, more of the same shot than you are in other countries. And I know no one goes to school or goes to college or gets a career and says, you know what, I want to be the drug addict or alcoholic or whatever in my life and my family and my field. So I try to meet people where they are, but again, I'm passionate, and so I do get a little bit harsher on people because it is life or death. It really is.
Yeah, especially now with the fentanyl being out there. How many times a week do you speak, Rob? I know if someone asks Rob, he speaks, and a lot of times he'll show up last minute if he has to fill in for someone. But how many times, or in a month, how many events?
So it's weird.
Month?
it kind of goes in waves. You know, like I might go a month without talking or saying anything,
Okay.
and that's fine. You know, I can listen, but then it comes like in waves. Like I probably spoke 4 times in the last 2 weeks, and sometimes I'm like, man, I'm probably talking too much. But you know what? If no one talks, though, then no one can listen. So I try not to oversaturate. You know, I never ask people like, hey, pick me, pick me. But if people ask, you know, I'm gonna be there. And you know, I'm not confident in a lot of things in life, but I am pretty confident when I speak, and I think I'm confident because I care. You know, like some people get asked to speak and they do a good job, and like I'm happy for them. But like this is like a passion for me. Like this isn't just like, yeah, I happen to get sober and I'm happy about it, and like I'm going on my separate ways. Like I want to drag as many people with me. You know, like my life has become so good, and I'm not that special. You know, I'm just a 34-year-old kid from America. I'm not that special. I'm just a white Caucasian guy. Anyone else can do this too. And so I'm just passionate. I want to bring as many people with me. And I want to take as many people that are at a Wawa with no hope and bring them to this life that's like, it's really unbelievable. And like the cool thing is, it's, you know, not based on God, but God's a big part of it. And like he'll take care of you even if you don't think so. And I always try to tell people, man, the best part of life is we're all eligible as long as we're breathing. You know, no matter how crappy your life is, you're eligible. So yeah, I do speak quite a bit, but it's only because I care, man. And I can't stress that enough. It's not out of anything else.
Hey, tell Bergie to keep it down. We got a show.
I will. I will. I will.
Bergie was in Rob's pick, his dog that he recently adopted. What's FroPro?
Yeah.
What the heck is FroPro?
FroPro, shout out FroPro. All right,
What is
FroPro
that?
is so that's actually a Southeast Florida-based company. It's
Okay.
protein bars, and the founder, his name's Matty Williams. He's a great guy, and he's been in the community for like 13 or 14 years now. He does a lot in the community and sobriety and fitness and things like that.
Okay.
And one of the guys that sits next to me every day works for them, and they're just a really cool company that help people early on, and they just have a great product. So if you're interested in FroPros, you know, head over to your local Whole Foods. They got FroPros. They're fire. They're unbelievable. It's a great cause. It's a great organization, and so I try to rock them and rep them as much as
Okay.
possible.
Interesting. I didn't know the backstory behind it because you always wear
Yeah.
something unique or.
Yeah.
Hey Rob, how do they taste? I mean, do they taste legitimately good, or because I mean I eat
my
those
God.
Cliff Bars and I'm like,
No,
okay,
no,
I guess
no,
I gotta
no.
try to eat it, you know.
Tim, I'm gonna get some FroPros sent to you guys. So they have a ton of flavors. My
All right.
favorite's probably the toasted mallow. And what I say about FroPros are, you know, when you're in that spot in your day, when you're about to make like a really poor 2,000 calorie decision at McDonald's because you're hungry, but the McDonald's is really
All the
convenient.
time.
Yeah. So I break out a FroPro in that moment, and my hunger subsides probably in like the next 5 minutes, and it gets me to like where I'm in my apartment and safe and not about to make a poor, you know, 2,000 calorie McDonald's order.
And the thing is, we don't love them. We don't love McDonald's. It's just like
No.
quick. I can eat quick
Convenient.
and go. Because I mean, shit.
Can I get a free shirt, Rob? Because I'm all about
Yes.
free shirts.
Oh, he's fucking free. It's a free shirt fucking wonder here, boy. This
Yeah,
guy right here.
yeah.
Holy crap. I remember I had to get him a small, medium, large. I mean, like, dude, I got no money now for my campaign because I gave all my freaking shirts to
I wore
Patrick.
them out, Tim, from all the sweat.
Yeah.
Put in the campaign, so they got worn out.
Jesus Christ. But
And fun fact, me and Rob are absolute beasts in cornhole. At one
and the
point,
game. And the game.
Yeah.
You guys have a team or what? You guys cornhole team
Yeah,
or
me
what?
and him.
yeah, we went on a lot of win streaks. Yes, let's just say.
Listen,
Well,
Tim,
go ahead, Rob.
I will tell you this, Tim. One of the greatest skills in cornhole is how talented your chirp game is. So
Yeah.
Patrick and I, we could chirp with the best of them,
Yeah.
and the game starts here. And if we can get in here, the arms will figure it out. You know, that's not hard.
So,
Patrick,
art of war is mental.
Patrick does a lot of chirping. And you know what's so funny about Patrick? And Patrick laughs because I bring my hand up, right? But the funny thing about Patrick is when you get him, he just freezes. Like, he's like, did you just say that? Like, and he looks at you like, dude, you've been fucking hard timing me for the last 4 days, and now I say one thing to you, you're going to have a meltdown and just freeze.
I throw little darts. Blake and Tim will just come with a dagger. Like, whoa, where did that come from? Like, Man, they just go for the jugular, so that's the difference.
We're pretty harsh. And then how we get out of it every time, because you know how people always say this, like, hey, if I didn't talk shit about you, I wouldn't love you, right? Which is true. But
I would just ignore you.
But we do come with some friggin' hard ones, you know. I come in here yesterday. I'm in my studio. I'm trying to, fix it up, and Pat's got like a whole friggin' nest of shit all over the desk. There's bugs coming up eating it, and I'm like, holy crap! I'm like, yeah,
That's true.
it's like your kid, right? It's like your kid. Drinks, leaves a little bit of milk, leaves just a little bit of milk in the refrigerator. It's like I got another kid now. It's crazy.
Well, I don't care who tell it. Well, you've been a lot of places all over the world, military and traveling. So what's your favorite country that you've been to, besides the great state of Florida?
I mean, man, it's such a loaded question. Every place is so cool. Like I always tell people, like the more places you go, the more you're going to learn. I mean, I always love, even when I was overseas or even when I travel on my personal life, like every time I go through the gates of customs and I land in the United States of America, I'm pretty fired up about it. Are we a perfect country? No. But every time I turn on the water here, it's clean. I got great food options. For the most part, people are nice.
Except if you're in Flint, you wouldn't want to turn on the water.
Yeah, in Flint. But no, I think the United States is my favorite. I think just because we're just an onion, man. Like if you don't like the United States because you went to Florida, well, California is way different than Florida, and New York City is way different than Pennsylvania. And, like we kind of have something for everybody. So obviously, biasly, this is my favorite country in the world. But I mean, Europe's great for food. South Africa is phenomenal for perspective. If you're lacking a dose of perspective, I highly encourage you to check out West Africa and see what they got going on. Because unfortunately, it's not a lot, but they have great people. So yeah, obviously where I live is where I'm most passionate about. But there's something to learn from everywhere you go.
Okay. 5 greatest Celtics players of all time. Go.
5 greatest. All right.
Top 5.
It's Bill Russell first. Larry Bird second. I would say Havlicek is the underrated guy at third. People forget Havlicek used to play the guard and the forward. He was kind of like a modern day player, but from 40 years ago. So I
Also
put
check.
also check. So Havlicek's probably third. Fourth, I guess people will probably go McHale. And then fifth, I think right now you have to go with Tatum just on the trajectory he's on. I mean, he won a title at 26. They're in the mix again. I know it's kind of a recency bias, but
Whoa.
yeah,
Oh,
he's probably in.
Pierce?
Yeah, I think Tatum, his trajectory is probably to pass Pierce in terms of the counting stats. He's going to pass him, but you got to remember. I mean, Paul Pierce won his first title, I think, at 32 or 33. Tatum got one at 26.
And Tatum can run and gun.
I mean, right now the way they're using him is pretty. It reminds me of Havlicek because like Tatum will guard your center, and then he's bringing the ball up like a point guard. So what he's doing right now is pretty special. But I think that's that top 5. I'd put that against any other team's all-time top 5.
Who's your favorite Boston Celtic of all time, Timmy G?
You're gonna laugh, but I got a signed picture from him. Thank you, Janet, from Dwight Evans. And he lives in Fort Myers. So, Rob, maybe when you get over one day, I would try to meet with him. And I got to meet before he passed Louis Tiant. He's here local. When I used to play wiffle ball, I used to throw that blooper sidearm thing he used to do. But no, the Red Sox, Carlton Fisk, Carl Yastrzemski. I mean, it goes on and on and on. But yeah.
Let's talk some real franchises. 49ers.
Yeah, no,
cute.
That's a cute little story.
Yeah, 49ers.
Top 5 Patriot players of all time. I have Brady number 1. I get it, but
yeah. I mean, the Pats aren't as big as my passion. So I always joke with people. Football is only 17.
Huge.
Football for me is only 17 days a year. That's not enough bandwidth. If I have the Celtics, Bruins, and Red Sox, that's 326 games a year. Last year it was 358 with playoffs. I need something more consistent. But
did you watch every one? Did you miss a game last year?
No,
Did you miss
I haven't missed. I don't miss games. No.
Really?
He'll be.
Games.
Okay,
We got spring training on at 1.
I'm shitty, man. Baseball, I will tell you, I'll watch the World Series playoff stuff like that, but I can't sit and watch the whole game.
No, I'm a 162 guy.
Do you ever come over and watch the games here?
I haven't yet. I want to make it over there. I'm trying to convince my girlfriend to come over. I think she will. But no, I haven't been to Fort Myers. I really want to. I've heard it's beautiful.
You move.
Yeah.
Naples is good. Fort Myers. Yeah, Fort Myers is great.
Nice.
Rob was impressed with Naples.
I was.
He came for a short period of time, but he was impressed, and he liked. She said Jimmy P's. Him and the boys enjoyed Jimmy P's. So
good food, Jimmy P's. Big shout out to Juan.
Yeah,
I know he wants to sponsor us again. Big numbers, Juan. Big numbers, Juan.
Yeah, the second location just opened, but yeah, when you come back, we'll go to the new location. You just opened it up yesterday.
Definitely. We're excited. We love Naples. I mean, we were there briefly, but we want to see more of Naples. Like I said, anywhere you go is an opportunity to learn. You know, and people are always operating a little bit differently depending where they are. But no, we're excited to go back to Naples. The food just driving around, you see all the restaurants and everything's like new construction and shiny and looks cool. We're like, man, there's got to be a lot of good food around here, you know. I put the bottle down, but the spoon and the fork are a problem. You know what I'm saying? And it looks like you got a lot of good places over there.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of people say that, Tim. I guess we kind of take it for granted when you've been in Naples for so long, the variety and all the great restaurants that we have in Naples, you know.
Yeah, it's amazing the places we have to eat here. And the thing about it is if they go out of business, some other restaurant comes back in, and usually they're better than the other one. So we get, because usually, I mean, you can literally go a different place every night here in Collier County. So yeah, it's great. Real quick question, Rob. While we got you a little bit more. Branch of the service. I don't know if I missed it. What branch?
Yeah, I was in the U.S. Army.
Okay, U.S. Army. Okay.
So
Didn't do well on the ASVAB test, so that's usually what happens to you Army guys. Did I go to the heart with that one? No, I'm an Air Force. I'm an Air Force guy. I'm an Air Force guy.
What I put up with.
That's why you're in Chair Force.
Chair Force. Thank you for your
You
service.
never
in all
went anywhere.
seriousness.
That's cute.
Oh yeah, no, I went everywhere. Germany. All different
we had
countries.
the Air Force with us too, and for some reason they had to wear our uniforms. I don't know what that was
Hey,
about.
I know for a fact that you really enjoyed going to our chow hall.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
We ate pretty good in the Air Force.
Yeah,
Like I said, the ASVAB test was a little tough for you. I mean, just say it like it is.
Yeah, no, I had a really high ASVAB score. The thing is, when I went to the ASVAB, when I went to the Air Force DFAC, I understood why we had no funding. You know, when they said we didn't have any funding, I was like, well, it's because of all the lobster tails at the Air Force DFAC.
Yeah, no shit, right?
Yeah. No, I was active duty Army for 7 years. It was a great experience. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
No, it's great. It's good. Patrick, what branch were you in?
Well, not the military.
Hey, you got to say the Czech Army. You got to say the Czech Army.
Army? Yeah. No.
Czech militia. Do they have an army over there?
Didn't it show my discipline?
Yeah.
Discipline. Yeah.
Should have been in the military. Rob's been stationed all over some cool places in the world. I know you were in Kuwait.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Where else?
I was in Kuwait. I was in Liberia. I was in South Korea.
Okay.
A little bit everywhere. It's cool, man. I wish I could travel more now. I feel like if you want great perspective and you really want to learn and you want to like be set free in this world, start traveling, you know. And I even say it with Florida too, you know, because now that I live down here, I'm from the Northeast originally, and people everywhere, they just judge, you know. People judge and like, oh, you're in Florida, it's like this. I'm like, well, listen, Palm Beach County is way different than Orlando, and Orlando is different than Naples, and Naples is different than Jacksonville, like, and it's the same thing with our country. You know, if you grew up in Arkansas, I think your experience is different than living in Manhattan. You know?
Yeah.
So I know you're all from the United States, but very different user experiences.
We got Sharka laughing with the Czech. He's in the Czech Army.
Yeah.
No, but
Blake Becker jumps on. Hadn't seen the kickoff since football since the kickoff. He's already talked about that shirt, Blake.
Yeah.
Nice Becker custom builder shirt. I'm gonna get a Fro Pro shirt here too. So I'm gonna
That's right.
Blake Becker, check out this shirt, buddy. Oh, my camera's following me, so I gotta figure out how to show it to you. There you go. Look at that one.
We can't see past the double chin, Tim.
I know. I got like 3 or 4 going on there, Pat. Nice collar. Hey, did you spill coffee on your shirt? It looks like you got some on there.
Pat's got an extra 1 or 2 if you want him too.
All day, Rob. Let's go all day.
Hey, Rob, I can't thank you enough, buddy, for jumping
Absolutely.
on. Super great meeting you the other night. And anytime you come to Naples, you got a free ride. Jump on our show. Get your friends, guests, anything that comes up, big stories. Get with PJ. He'll get you hooked up. And you know how to get on now, so you're good.
Yeah, we're good to go, and I'll make sure to get you guys some Fro Pro.
And I know that we want some Fro Pros. We could show them up
That's
so we
right.
can eat them. But I noticed that you're like, you're fixing your hair, fixing your hat, and I kind of put you on a little bit quicker than you expected. Did you get the makeup? That's the key.
Oh yeah.
We sent somebody
I did my
over.
own makeup. Funny,
Get the-
actually. Before COVID happened, I was actually at the Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting, so I'm pretty familiar with how to do makeup and do all this kind of stuff. So I got the makeup dialed in. I got the blush. I left the eyeshadow low. Patrick told me he's like easy on the eyeshadow.
Yeah, easy on the eyeshadow.
Got it dialed in.
You can't
I'm
outdo
jealous.
me.
He said you went to Full Sail.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was a cop for 31 years, so I didn't get a chance to go to Full Sail, but I would like to go there because it's just, I went there for like a Adobe training session one time. It was like awesome.
It's pretty cool.
I enjoy that stuff. Yeah. So.
Greatest hip hop song of all time, Rob. We'll close on that.
Greatest hip hop song of all time. I mean, hip hop for me is like seasons. It just comes and goes. I just been
Or
listening to a
album.
lot of
Song or album.
Probably Illmatic by Nas. Like if I'm gonna play one hip hop album, it's gonna be that one, start to finish.
That's a great choice, Tim. Great choice. We'll get that queued up on our online radio station.
Patrick always gets on me about our little sound background music, but if we put like other stuff on, we're gonna get flagged on YouTube. So
Of course, yeah.
this is our mid-term jam here as we close
I
out.
like
but,
it.
Yeah, but hey, thanks, appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you, Rob.
Absolutely.
We'll
Thank
see
you
ya.
guys.
Yeah,
Brother.
you
we're
soon.
jumping out. Thank you guys. Appreciate you all getting on today. We got a lot of people on, off and on, all the different ones. So thanks. Appreciate you guys. We are out. Point it
Have a good
forward,
weekend.
Patrick. Point it forward, buddy. There you go. Patrick, camera.